Is it too early to start talking about the midterms? Not really, because Republicans are already busy trying to rig them in their favor. My name is Justin Glaw. I'm an independent journalist based in Georgia. I run American Doom, which is a newsletter on Substack, YouTube page, podcast. You can find us at american-doom.com. I'd love to have your paid support there because that money goes to funding my investigations and my travels, like a recent trip to Los Angeles, where I documented what I can best describe as a police riot. So if you want to head over to American Doom, give us a subscription there, subscribe here, whatever you want to do, however you want to support, I greatly appreciate it. The Justice Department is exploring criminal prosecutions of state and local election officials for failure to properly secure election infrastructure. It's part of a sweeping strategy to suppress free and fair elections that harkens back to Project 2025. I wrote about the right's plans to prosecute Democratic election officials at Rolling Stone in April. This is quite rich considering a few things. First, the only actual breaches of election equipment in recent history came at the hands of Republicans. In Coffee County, Trump-supporting members of the election board gave access to voting machines and other election equipment to the Trump campaign, its lawyers, and probably Mike Lindell, although his direct involvement has never been specifically proven. Also in Georgia, in Spalding County, lawyers from that same firm were in talks with Trump-supporting election officials there to access voting machines in their attempt to overturn the 2020 election. I wrote a ton about Spalding County in the last 4 years. If all that weren't enough to prove my point, since taking office for the second time, Trump has gutted the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, which is responsible for helping state and local election officials secure their equipment against bad actors like Russian hackers. Trump has reduced CISA's ability to perform these tasks, which according to Democratic election officials like Arizona Secretary of State Adrian Fontes, have made our election systems less secure. While the Trump administration is pursuing prosecution of state and local election officials at the federal level, we're already seeing these in Texas, where Ken Paxton has indicted voting rights groups for their role in helping people to get out the vote, despite the fact that courts are up in the air of whether or not these actions even constitute the, quote, ballot-harvesting crime that Paxton alleges. Another way to think of their actions is that they were simply helping seniors to navigate the complicated mail-in ballot process. This is what Paxton calls ballot harvesting. His efforts to suppress voting are mirrored elsewhere, like in North Carolina, where Republican legislators are trying to pass a bill that would prohibit election officials from, quote, promoting voter turnout. That Republicans are explicitly against promoting voter turnout should tell you everything you need to know about their support for representative democracy. The bill would also further entrench partisan politics in the electoral process by expanding the number of political appointees at the State Board of Elections. And if you want a preview of what that looks like, just check out my reporting on the Georgia State Board of Elections over the last few years. Of course, Marjorie-Taylor-Greene is involved in all of this. She is leading efforts to remove immigrants from the U.S. Census count. This will result in fewer congressional seats for swing states with large immigrant populations like Georgia and North Carolina. Whether you like it or not, undocumented immigrants live here. They are actual human beings. By not counting them in the census, Republicans are essentially erasing your neighbors, which include these people who cook your food, clean your homes, and tend to your lawns. This is just another way to establish minority rule, which I've written about before and you can read in the description below. Here in Georgia, Burt Jones is running for governor. He's currently the lieutenant governor, but for those who might have forgotten, he's also an avowed election denier who is deeply involved with the illegal scheme to have fake electoral college electors hand over their votes to Trump in 2020. Jones avoided legal consequences for his role in the fake electors scheme because the prosecutor who had charged him, Fani Willis, was deemed to have a conflict of interest because she once donated to Jones' political opponent.